Far beyond the crowded towns of the world, past the noisy markets, the stone roads, and the restless crowds, there lay a hidden place. A valley wrapped in a soft, eternal twilight. A valley untouched by time. A valley the world had long forgotten. People who accidentally stumbled into this place would always speak of it with wonder. They said the sky there was neither day nor night. They said the wind carried ancient secrets. They said the river hummed melodies older than any song ever written. This quiet cradle between mountains was known only as the Last Valley. And in this valley lived a boy named Aren. Aren was gentle, even to stones under his feet. And inside him burned a curiosity brighter than any flame. His mother, Mira, always warned him kindly. Curiosity must walk with caution, Aren. A flame may warm, but it may also burn. Aren listened, but the world around him was far too mysterious, far too beautiful to ignore. The leaves shimmered with colors no painter had ever captured. The rocks glowed faintly at night. Even the silence felt alive. But the strangest thing in the valley was the lantern at the valley's center. Resting on a stone pedestal stood a lantern that never dimmed. No one knew who built it or when. No one knew how it burned without oil or wick. Simply was. People feared it. Others worshipped it. But Aren, he adored it. It drew him like a warm fire draws cold hands. Elder Bran, the oldest villager, always told stories about it. His voice crackled like dried leaves as he sat by the nighttime fire. Children gathered around him, their eyes glowing from the lantern's reflection on the horizon. One day, he said, a great darkness will blanket the world beyond these mountains, and only a pure heart, braver than fear, kinder than sorrow, will carry the lantern to where it is needed most. Most villagers smiled politely at these stories. They thought the old man simply repeated tales from long ago. But Aren, he listened to every word as if they were treasure. He wondered what kind of darkness could swallow the world. He wondered what kind of heart the lantern would choose. On his 10th birthday, Aren asked Elder Bran, "Do you think I could be the one to carry the lantern someday?" Bran looked at him for a long, quiet moment. His eyes softened, but behind that softness rested a hint of fear. "Every child believes they will change the world," the old man whispered. "But the world is changed only by those who choose truth. When lies are easier, kindness. When cruelty is convenient, and courage, when fear would be safer." Aren didn't understand fully, but the words settled in his heart like seeds waiting for rain. Then one evening, everything changed. A low rumble shook the mountains. Birds fled from the sky. Dogs whimpered and hid. Even the flowing river seemed to lose its voice. Aren, who had been gathering herbs on a cliffside, looked up. Dark shapes winged and twisted, poured over the mountain tops like a living storm. Their faces were distorted. Their wings were torn. And with every beat of their wings came a wave of cold so sharp it cut through the air. Aren froze. The creatures descended into the valley, tearing roofs, breaking doors, scattering villagers. Screeches pierced the air like shattered glass. Then Elder Bran appeared on the hill, leaning evilly on his staff. His eyes were full of sorrow. "It has begun," he whispered. "The darkness I warned about." Aren ran to him. "What do we do?" Bran placed a trembling hand on the boy's shoulder. "You must get to the lantern." "Me? Why me?" The old man's voice shook. "Because it glows brighter when you are near." Aren didn't understand. He didn't have time to. He ran, stumbling, crambling, gasping, toward the pedestal. The creatures swooped after him. Their claws scraped the ground behind him. The cold of their wings burned against his skin. But Aren reached the lantern. Its flame blazed brighter than the sun. Without thinking, he grabbed it. Light erupted outward. A wave of warmth and brilliance swept across the valley. The dark creatures screamed, twisted, dissolved into nothing, or fled into the mountains. When the light calmed, Aren was standing there, unharmed, holding the lantern in his hands. His mother pulled him into a shaking embrace. "Aren! Oh, Aren, you frightened me." "I had to help," he said, breathless. "I had to protect everyone." Elder Bran approached him slowly, leaning hard on his staff. His voice was soft, but full of certainty. Aren, the lantern has chosen you. Its light is not meant only for this valley. The darkness beyond these mountains has only begun. You must take it into the world, into the forgotten lands, where shadows now rule. Aren trembled. But I'm only a boy. I don't know the world. No one knows the path before they walk it, Bran said gently. But the brave choose to walk anyway. Aren looked at his mother. Her eyes were full of fear, but also pride. Go, she whispered, and always remember kindness. So the boy stepped into a world beyond the valley for the first time. The path was steep. The night was cold. But the lantern glowed softly, guiding his feet around roots and stones. After hours of climbing, Aren entered the forest of echoes. Every sound repeated again and again. His footsteps multiplied. His breath came back to him as whispers, and soon, the forest whispered his name, Aren. He turned. No one. Aren turned back. The voice sounded like his mother, then like Elder Bran, then like himself. Aren, you will fail. Aren, you are too small. Aren, you are alone. The shadows bent toward him like reaching hands. Fear pressed against his heart. Then Aren whispered the words Bran had once taught him. Courage is choosing to move even when fear is safer. He lifted the lantern. Its flame flared. The voices faded. The shadows withdrew. The forest fell silent. Aren walked on. After days of traveling, he reached a ruined town. Homes broken, fields dead, wells dry, and at the center sat a girl, crying into her hands. Her name was Lisa. Her village had been taken by the creatures of darkness. She thought she was alone, until Aren held the lantern near her, and its soft light soothed the pain she carried. It doesn't hurt, she whispered. Everything else hurts, but not this. For days, Aren used the lantern's glow to bring life back to the town. Flowers bloomed again. Animals returned. Broken things healed. Lisa watched all of it with wide, trembling eyes. Take me with you, she begged. I don't want to be alone. I want to help the world too. Aren hesitated. Traveling with another person would be harder, riskier. But kindness is never meant to be kept small. Come with me, he said. Two children walked into the broken world together. Weeks passed. They reached the glittering city of shrouded gold. Its walls sparkled like treasure. Its towers shimmered like sunrise. But inside, the people were drowning in greed. Merchants cheated each other. Children fought over scraps. Neighbors stole from neighbors. And at the city's heart stood a golden throne, untouched. The guard explained, whoever sits on it becomes blind to everything but gold. The last king lost his soul. Since then, no one dares take the throne. Aren held up the lantern. Its light pulsed gently, as if sensing the sickness of the place. Wherever the light touched, people softened. Anger faded. Voices calmed. Even the guard straightened, as though remembering he had once been noble. Crowds gathered. The light-bearer is here. The boy with the eternal lantern. He brings peace. Aren trembled under all the eyes, but he climbed the steps to the cursed throne. He raised the lantern and touched it to the golden metal. The throne glowed white-hot, then burst and became a simple, humble wooden chair. A leader does not need gold, Aren said softly. A leader needs kindness. The city bowed, but there were still more lands drowning in darkness. High in the mountains, Aren and Lisa reached a bridge hanging over a bottomless canyon. Carved into the stone beside it were the words, "Only those free from regret may cross." Lisa stepped forward, but the bridge shook violently, forcing her back. Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't help my parents when the creatures came," she cried. "I thought they abandoned me, but they were taken while they were searching for me." Aren placed a hand on her shoulder. "You can face your regret. You can heal." He lifted the lantern. Its warmth fell over her. Lisa stepped onto the bridge again. This time it held steady. Aren followed, but shadows rose from below, whispering his own secret fears. Times he wasn't brave. Times he wasn't kind. Times he wished he had acted differently. I'm not perfect, he whispered, shaking. You don't need to be, Lisa said. You only need to keep trying. So Aren stepped forward. Together they crossed. Finally, their journey led them to a castle made from pure shadow. It rose like a nightmare against lightning-lit clouds. Inside, on a throne of darkness, sat the Dark King. You have traveled far, the king rumbled. But light is nothing without darkness, and you are too young to carry such power. Aren trembled, but he stepped forward. The light is not mine, he said softly. It belongs to anyone who needs hope. The Dark King rose, towering like a storm. You think you can defeat me? No, Aren whispered. But I can face you. He lifted the lantern. The king roared. Shadows swirled. The air cracked. But Aren did not attack. He only held the lantern closer. The shadows peeled away. Not in pain, but in sorrow. Under the darkness was a man broken by grief. I was the world's guardian, he whispered. But when I lost my family, darkness filled my heart. I thought if the world shared my sorrow, it would understand me. Aren felt tears in his eyes. You don't need to carry this alone, he said. Lisa stepped beside him. Let us help you. The lantern glowed softly, wrapping the fallen guardian in gentle warmth. And the darkness that had ruled for centuries finally lifted. The world healed. Fields grew green again. Rivers ran clear. Flowers bloomed in forgotten places. The creatures of shadow faded into harmless mist. Months later, Aren and Lisa returned to the last valley. Not as frightened children, but as young heroes who had carried light into a broken world. The villagers embraced them with tears and laughter. Mira held her son close, whispering, You kept your promise. Aren walked to the pedestal and gently placed the lantern back where it belonged. Its flame glowed brighter than ever. Elder Brand smiled softly. It will wait, he said, for the next heart brave enough to carry it. Aren looked at Lisa. Their eyes reflected all they had endured and all the hope they had restored. And at last, the last valley was peaceful again.